All right, all right, all right. What's going on, folks? Welcome back to the FF Faceoff, part of the Faceoff Sports Network. And today we're giving you some of our Week 12 reactions. Obviously, we have a Monday night game that is, a couple hours away. So we'll do everything but that. And then if you guys have any questions about Week 13, we'll be happy to answer them. Also, while you're here, feel free to like and subscribe. It helps us out immensely. My name is Michael Hopp. You can follow me on X at the FF Realist. I'm joined by Ben, who can be followed at FF Rabbit Dad. Ben, I know I asked you off air, but how you doing?
I mean, I've had better Mondays. I've had
Okay.
better Sundays. I've had better weeks. We'll say that.
Mhm.
Being a Vikings fan is really hard sometimes, and yesterday and today is one of those examples where it's just there's so much toxicity in the air and so much like let's compare him to this guy. Let's compare him to this guy. If he threw every single pass into the ground, it would be a better pass rate. Like fine, but it's just gonna get it out of there. None of us are none of us know anything unless you're a coach, a trainer, personnel with a team. You
Mhm.
don't know the full story. You will never know the full story if you're not one of those people. And people, throwing stuff out, name calling, and it's gross. I mean, yeah, I get it. Social media. That's part of the charm of social media is you can just be gross to people whenever you want. But a point where it just gets to a point where it's like, can somebody just reel it back? Think about it for a second. I mean, if we just go based on take one play in particular, that second interception, I think it was the
Yeah,
second one,
sure.
where it was just kind of floated up there because the guy got around the tackle, the rookie left tackle, and got a piece of his arm going up. And then I just see everybody like, oh, McCarthy, he sucks so bad. Look, he threw another interception. You would too if somebody tapped you on the arm when you're trying to throw a ball. So
So,
I'm still on the McCarthy hype train. I'm still with him. I'm
okay.
still ready to see him grow and expand and get better. And I know in my heart that he will. Will it all happen in the next couple weeks? Probably not. But I'm
Mm.
open to it and I'm rooting for the kid.
So before we get to some of these comments and stuff, and if there's any questions, we'll get to you guys. But do you think that the Vikings cut bait on JJ?
I don't cut bait. What can you like more
I mean,
specific?
because don't you run kind of a risk here? Like I'm just saying, like say Justin Jefferson, right? And listen, all wide receivers are the same. They all want the ball. We love them all, but some are more well tempered than others, but they all want the ball. And if Jefferson sees the offense going like this, if push comes to shove, I mean, you know,
Yeah, I think it might be. I know we've had this discussion with multiple teams over the year already with
right? That's what I'm
weird
saying. Yeah,
injury designations and whatever and stuff. So I'm thinking maybe this whole concussion protocol thing is maybe does isn't it? Maybe it's a smokescreen to have a reason to then like he's in concussion protocol, he can't play this week, so we'll have to go with the other guy.
do
And
a
I
bit
love
of a
Max
reset.
Brosmer too. I watched him have an amazing season for the University of Minnesota, but this isn't college football. And I mean, I think right now there's a 50-50 chance that we are seeing Brosmer in week 13.
All right. Well, as the world turns now, as we get to the questions, I'll say this: if that's the case, which is what you fear, because we got questions. Pete and I went live. By the way, we go live every Sunday. We're probably going to go live Thanksgiving morning, maybe, depending on who's available. We get a lot of start sit questions.
Yep.
And we were getting asked a few times about sitting Justin Jefferson. Are you at the point, you being a Vikings fan for the fantasy people here, are you at the point where you would consider sitting him?
I mean, he's arguably the best wide receiver in the league in a really, really, really crappy situation. With we
Sure.
don't know what the quarterback's thing is going to be this week. I can't because he could still just if he scores a touchdown, he makes it worth starting him. I mean, yeah,
Makes the
you
week, yeah.
you drafted him as a first round guy, or you acquired him with a lot of capital behind in a trade, but he's still Justin Jefferson, and I still can't bench him personally.
Yeah, I kind of alluded to this, and then we'll get some of these questions and comments. I kind of alluded to this yesterday with Pete. Was like, I think we have to understand that we're at a point where we're not getting what we invested draft capital wise into Justin Jefferson, but that also doesn't mean that we have to now sit him. You know,
Hmm.
both things can be true. Like we're not getting what we asked for, but we can't sit him yet either. It just, I mean, you have to have a pretty good wide receiver core to, I'm just saying.
Yeah, and I know I don't have any place where I'm not playing him. I think I have like two shares of him outside of best ball, and it's just I can't not play him. I can't. It's just he is one of those guys that, like, he's like a Jamar
And the
Chase, like a Jameer Gibbs. You play him every single week, and you just you get what
and
you
the
get.
Vikings will be at the Seahawks on Sunday at 4:05. So for
Mhm.
those interested. So
Not a great matchup.
um nope, not the best. Kevin's coming in here and he says he needs 10 from Rico Daddle tonight. We'll obviously get some Monday night, hopes and prayers, but what do you think here? I think Rico Dowdle 10 points. I mean, depending on if it's half point or full point, I think you can get that. I mean, the Niners defense has not been great, so I mean, you think 10 points is good?
I think I mean, definitely if it's like a PPR or even a half PPR, I think you're good. I
Sure.
actually, right before the show, I threw in an underdog pick with Dowdle over 74.5 rushing yards. So that's how confident I am in him this night.
I threw in a 5-pick parlay. Christian McCaffrey 2 touchdowns. George Kittle over 58.5 receiving yards. Diamador Lenore, for you people who don't know, he's the cornerback for the Niners. 2 tackles. Bryce Young, 180 passing yards. Tedero McMillan, 50 receiving yards. Plus 800 odds on DraftKings.
Be a nice payday.
That's it. I like it.
Yeah.
Tron Force coming in here saying, "What's up, fellas? Happy Turkey Day. Happy Turkey Day to you
Happy
as well."
Turkey Day.
Yes, yes.
One of my favorite holidays.
Okay. Mine too, actually. Mine too.
Mhm.
There you go. What is the favorite holiday?
It's Halloween for sure.
Okay. Mine would be 4th of July.
Yeah, we're a big time Halloween household. I mean, we've got this kind of decor all over the place
Okay.
year round.
Well,
So
that'll
yeah.
do it. That'll do it. Um, what matchups most interested in week 13? I guess that they're asking us what are we interested in most week 13? Um, you know what? This is a bit of a curveball. You weren't expecting this question, but if you had to do it from a fantasy football perspective and then give me an NFL perspective, what matchup are you most intrigued by? One for fantasy, one for NFL. They could
All
be
right, well,
one and the same.
I'll do a fantasy. Well, I'll start with a fantasy one. I'll do
Yeah,
a little bit of a deep dive. I mean, it's going to be harder to
give it to me.
make a play on or make a stance on it because we've got no bye week teams this week. But
Right?
I think an interesting play could be Jaleel McLaughlin for Denver. Now we know they don't
Ooh,
have Dobbins; he's done for the year. Tyler Bidet is just a hype train with no engine in it, and then you got RJ Harvey, who's not he's not a goal line kind of back, in my opinion. I think that McLaughlin fits that better, and we even saw in the last game, out of his 6 carries, he had two of the carries were in the red zone, and he scored on one of those 2 carries. So touchdown upside. If he gets 6, and you're in desperate need of a running back, I think McLaughlin is worth a play against Washington.
okay.
Well, Washington, I mean, they've given up 5.3 yards per carry over the last 5 games.
And then if it's NFL,
NFL, Hmm. You know what? Let's say I think Houston. No, yeah, I think Houston beats Indy this week.
ooh, I mean the defense is good. I don't hate that. Yeah, fantasy football perspective, I got to go with the Bengals and the Ravens. The night game on Thanksgiving, Joe Burrow looks like he's coming back. Should be a bonanza. Um, and also I love both kickers in that matchup. By the way, kicker video is coming soon. But yeah, in terms of just straight NFL, that Black Friday game, the Bears. at the Eagles.
Yeah.
Bears have been doing their thing. Bears have been winning games by hook or by crook. They've been winning. And yeah, I'm curious to see where that ends up there. So, but we'll see. So
That could definitely be a
that's
fun one to watch. I'm probably gonna miss
yeah.
the first half of it, but
What's going on?
I work.
Oh well,
Yeah. You're the life of a courier. We only get so many days off a year, so and Black Friday's not a holiday for us. So
that sounds about right. Jared Fortin's coming in here. Hey guys, just want you early thought Burrow versus Ravens. Okay, so he wants our early thoughts on Joe Burrow against the Ravens. Reported he is playing. That is true. Or Dak versus Kansas City in Dallas. I mean, Ben, you can give me your response. I kind of said this on Sunday. It's just like or not Sunday. I said it Thursday actually when I did a live show by myself. It's if Joe Burrow's playing, I'm putting him out there because to me it's very reminiscent. If you remember last year, remember when they were trying the Bengals, that is trying to make the playoffs desperately, and just it was tally ho, gung ho from Joe Burrow,
just
like
running up the score week after week,
running up
win
the
after
score,
win.
right? So to me, it's like I don't know how I can't go Joe Burrow, and that's no disrespect to Dak, but I mean, what are you doing there?
I think you brought up the exact case I'm thinking of too. Is like we saw win in clutch situation. They
Right.
need to just win, 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 and score, score, score. If they got Burrow, you put in Burrow, and you get Jamar Chase, who had an extra week off because he spat on some guy. I mean, they're both going to be fired up and ready to just blow it out of the park. I mean, they could. They seriously could be QB1, wide receiver 1, week 13. I'm calling it right now.
I mean, you look at this. I mean, from week 9 on, Joe Burrow last year, 29.1, 33.7, 29, 19.3, 24.6, 16.8, 22, 37. And yeah, week 18, he had 13 points. But if you're playing a fantasy football title in week 18, you got bigger things to handle,
Yeah,
So,
they're just not doing it right.
Kevin says week 12 was a lot. Well, talk to us. Let us know. Zach coming in here said Thor and D-Bro said the same about JJ. Okay. Well, those are two respected guys, so we'll take
I'm
that.
guessing
D-Bro's a good.
referring to the concussion protocol
Yeah,
thing.
probably. Yeah. He
Hmm.
will beg to get the hell out of there in the offseason. Talking about Justin Jefferson. That's stuff for you to look forward to, Ben.
Don't say
Um,
that. Don't put that out there, man. Come on.
well, he just did. That just happened. That just
Damn
happened.
it.
And if I could rally you up, I'll do it.
I'm
And
sure. Yeah.
Zach did come out and said it's a fake concussion. I don't know if you could really do a fake concussion.
I don't know.
Would I say if you gave Kevin O'Connell some truth serum, would I? Do you think he'd say it's good that he's on protocol? Like, let's just throttle down.
I think he
Let's
wants
all
to go
step
throw him out
back.
there again. I think
You think
it's
so?
more of a like everybody else, kind of like, you know what? If we can find an excuse without just pulling him, without just benching
No,
him,
Peter.
maybe it could be that. But God, it's just yeah. I mean, I'm still like 50-50 on whether he plays. It's either him or Brosmer.
Pete says hi, but he's at Pete 7,000. I'm not sure why the 7,000 is whatever, but yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
um, how about 40 points from Tet? Listen, the way the 49ers secondary played lately, I mean, they let Jacoby Brissett complete 47 passes. So, I mean, it's not out of the realm possibility, but no, I would say no.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
yeah, 40 is a lot, but yeah, no, I'm not hoping for it.
Thoughts on the Bears backfield going forward? So, this is a division rival for you, Ben, but,
Mhm.
Kyle Monunga, he did have a rushing touchdown, which saved his day. What are your thoughts there in terms of the Bears and what's going on there in that backfield? How confident are you starting some of these guys? Is there one you like more than another?
I think they're both solid plays, like pretty much the rest of the season. I mean, the Bears offense is clicking. They're putting up plenty of points. They're, having close games, which just makes it more exciting. But the fact that you can still get decent production out of both players is very, very enticing. And I actually do like Monongai better just because I've seen the crap show that Swift has dealt out in past years. And that's just it feels like every week that's going to rear its ugly head again.
Yeah,
But I think just having the two of them, they just keep each other healthy at the same time. You don't have to give one guy
sure.
25 touches.
Yeah, no, I think we're a lot of times. I think when we ask questions like this, I think we're looking for one to just go ahead of the other guy and like leave him in the dust. And like you kind of just said, it's not always the case. Sometimes one helps the other in terms
Yep.
of starting both guys, but I'd probably go Monungai just because if you're looking at the rushing attempt share just from yesterday, 48% from Monungai, 32% from Swift. So more work's going to Monungai. I mean, the snap percentage, 9% higher for Monungai than Swift. Um, Swift did have 3% of the targets, while Monungai had none. Take that for what you will. But I mean, I'm not going to get hung up about that. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's just one of those examples that we no longer live in a world where I'm old enough to remember where there was one running back on the team, and that was that.
Hmm.
But yeah, so whatever. But I'm aging myself. Iggy
I'm
coming
that
in
old too,
here.
so
What's that?
I'm that old too. I remember those days.
Hey now. All right. Well, welcome to the club. Iggy 2122 coming in here. And by the way, now I remember Pete was confused because Iggy, you had a different name when you came in here yesterday. It was Iggy and then something after it. So maybe Pete was right. Maybe Pete's not crazy. Or maybe he's crazy and he's right. But should I stream a quarterback this week? I got Caleb Williams against the Eagles. And if so, and if he has to, then who? Thanks, guys. Um, well, I mean, Ben, I'll kind of answer this for what you're probably already thinking. Which Iggy, you can let us know what quarterbacks are available, right? That's the answer, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
answer.
Right. I can't tell you in good faith to sit Caleb Williams if I don't know who else you could play. So if you're still here, let us know and then we'll definitely help you out. But yeah, kind of an open-ended question.
Yep.
Galaxy Pickers coming in here said trade Lamb, London, and Judkins for CMC and Devonta Smith. I have a round one bye in week 14. Assume that's playoffs, obviously. Roster is JT Judkins, Marks, Harvey, Lamb, London, Odunze, Diggs. I mean, if you have JT and CMC going into the playoffs, and your bye week is week 14, which is important because that's the 49ers bye week.
Yep.
He's trading Lamb, London.
And
Go ahead, Ben.
Judkins
You
for
got some on this? I'll put you on the spot first.
sure. I'm just making sure I'm reading this correctly. So he's
Mm-hmm.
got JT, he's got Marks and Harvey, he's got Judkins, he's got Lamb, Dunze, Diggs, London. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. So trading away Lamb, I mean, that's a big deal name. You got trading away London, who knows if he plays again next week, if he plays
Right.
again at all. Judkins, like the only story in Cleveland at this point, really, other than,
Oh.
what are they going to do at quarterback? Not
Mm.
here or there. And then CMC, who is CMC. But the thing is, it's like you're giving up two wide receivers, and yeah, you're getting the better player in the deal. That's That's the first positive note.
Sure.
But I question if you're giving up too much and just getting back, Devontae Smith as the secondary, as the ancillary piece.
Yeah, I hate
Lamb
this
is just
question.
so good. Yeah, Lamb is just so good, and London could just go off again. Granted, we haven't seen him do a lot with Cousins,
Right.
but he's London. He's good. I mean,
Of course. Yeah, of course. I just think you're spreading yourself so thin at wide receiver. Because not only are you giving up two wide receivers, you're giving up two of your best. I mean, Odunze, can we rely on Odunze to do anything? Not
rely on. I
consistently,
mean, I wouldn't say rely on. I actually, if you're going to
right?
rely on one of those guys, I think I rely on Diggs more than Odunze. But
Me too.
it is nice to have Odunze there. He's a talented guy, and he's got a long future ahead of him as a
It's
successful
it's
running or
nice.
receiver.
It's nice to have a Dunze there when you have Lamb and London in front of him, and
Yeah,
then Diggs, who we both trust more than Odunze, it seems. But it doesn't sound as sexy when you don't have Lamb and London.
Yeah, because not who you're starting. You're starting. I'm assuming you're starting two wide receivers, so you're starting Devontae Smith and then either Odunze or Diggs, and
Mm.
then running back. Obviously, you're starting JT and CMC. But yeah, I don't think I'd do this trade.
I don't think I would do it either, as sexy as it seems. I'm checking one other thing. Let me just see this here. Give me one hot second.
Yeah.
Looking at strength of schedule, rest of season for wide receiver. Yeah, I don't think I do this deal, man. I don't. I really don't. Sorry, Galaxy pickers, if you were looking for a different answer. I don't think I do this deal.
No, that's two no's.
Yeah, that's 2 no's. That is a no. So,
No.
Jared said best waiver RB, Neil, Jalen from Broncos, drop Vidal or Tootin. Rootin' Tootin'. Pete was high on Tootin. I was high on ETN. We saw how yesterday played out. I would think Tootin would be the guy to drop, but go ahead, Ben. I'll give it to you.
I mean, yeah, Tootin's the guy I would drop.
Okay.
And then you said Jalen from Broncos. Am I like mind farting and not remembering somebody's from the Broncos named Jalen? Do you mean
Um,
Jaleel?
he probably means Jaleel. It probably means
Oh,
Jaleel. That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
well, let's see. In that case,
Wow. What
I
is
mean,
this?
it's going to depend a lot on whether or not Kamara is active this week. Um, if we know Kamara is not playing, then I would go Neil, hope for the best. You know that he's going to get a decent carries, a number of carries, that he won't get vultured too much by Taysom Hill, who did get all the short yardage work after Kamara came out yesterday. So yeah, I mean, if we knew Kamara was out, I'd say Neil. Without that knowledge, or if we know Kamara's playing,
Sure.
I think I'd take the dart throw on Mr. McLaughlin. So
All right. And Pete throwing some shade from his couch, saying, God, Hop is so fucking old. Well, you're so fucking young. So,
yeah, and
and
we're here, so
right. And he calls me old, but every time I joke about him being young, he gets all offended and upset. But,
yeah.
go ahead, Pete. Have fun, buddy.
Kids these days, I tell you.
Yeah, that's right. You do you, you dirty little bitch over there. All right. He also said Ben is Bosmer the next Purdy. Oh, is Bosmer the next Purdy? Fitting given
Uh,
Hop this here. And
Brother is not the next Purdy. I do not believe he's the next Purdy. I would love him to be the next Purdy,
that's right.
but it's going to take a while for us to find out if that's true or not. I don't think he's the next Purdy. I think he's going to be a solid, second string quarterback that can fill in from time to time when you needed to over the course of his career. But like I said, I loved him at Minnesota. So, I hope nothing but the best if he does have to come in and play. So,
I can see your level of anxiety with the Vikings is up there,
I know it's like I
especially
avoided
because you weren't
almost
able to do
every.
your Vikings podcast today. So
Yeah, I wasn't able to do my uncovered podcast for the Vikings. So hopefully that'll be coming down later this week at some point. Just
it's also why the ears aren't straight up. They're like
they
slightly,
are they are kind of
yeah,
curved.
they're a little bummed. We're having a hard time. All right, that's
Mhm.
cool. Tron Force comes in here and says, I have Jalen Warren and Gainwell. Not sure how to approach this backfield from here on out. And Tron, I'll tell you this, and then I'll let Ben kick in here, but you have backed yourself into a corner, my good friend, because you chose to roster 2 running backs that are on an Arthur Smith offense.
Mhm.
Not good. But with all due respect, I traded for Jalen Warren, and it was like, remember Anchorman when Ron Burgundy jumps into the pit with the Bears, and he says,
Yep.
"I immediately regret this decision."
Love that
I
movie. Yes, I do
Yeah,
remember that.
great movie, but I traded for Jalen Warren, and then I saw week 11 how Jalen Warren was not used at all, and then Gainwell went wild, and they said, "Yep, I did that. That happened." But yeah, I mean, all right. So all seriousness, Ben, if you had to pick one of these guys in terms of how you approach this from here on out, what are you going with?
Ah, gosh, I'm still going with, and I don't really even like either of these guys. I was so like, just thought it's just such an easy road for Caleb Johnson, but I think I'm going to go with Jalen Warren. It just, the pass catching chops he's got, and granted he's not good between the tackles, but I think the experience and yeah, the pass catching ability gives him the notch up over Gainwell for me.
Looking at the last 3 weeks, um, yeah, I mean, Jalen Warren still has got 53% of the attempts to Gainwell's 24, Caleb Johnson getting 9, but Gainwell gets 20% of the targets while Warren gets 5.
Oh well, in that
Um,
case,
I listen, this is what we call fantasy football Russian roulette,
hmm
Tron Force. I would personally go with Jalen Warren. But I would tell you to be prepared to have weeks in which you need to take Tums or you're cursing at your TV or your phone.
yeah, absolutely
Yeah,
gonna have those weeks when you're trying to decide between two running backs who either
sure.
could go off and either could goose egg or almost goose egg at any given week. So
And I would tell you moving forward, do not go ahead and roster 2 running backs that are in an Arthur Smith offense. Um, Pete coming in here as if he didn't say it earlier, he decided to add more O's to it and say that I'm so old.
yeah,
Pete, you're so young, Pete.
hmm
Pete, when I was dating girls, you were wearing pull-ups, dude. Like what do you want to talk about?
get off my lawn, Pete.
Yeah, get off my lawn, man. I swear to God, I'll do it. Brian comes in here. Brian 240-1 I5 you. Caleb for Hunt in a 14 teamer. I have the man Stevenson at RB2. Laugh my ass off. I have Burrow.
Buckrow.
Buttrow, as he says. We're gonna hope that's Joe Burrow.
Yeah,
Yep. I
hope that
just read it
Joe
how I
Burrow
see
does
it.
not see it. Yep.
All right, so actually, this is actually a good question because, besides the spelling from Brian here, we do have Joe Burrow coming back. So, and we talked about this earlier in terms of you watch that stretch run from last year and the fantasy football potential that awaits us with Joe Burrow. Do you trust Joe Burrow to stay healthy enough to go ahead and trade away your other starting quarterback, whether it's Caleb Williams or someone else?
I mean,
And Brian did come back and correct and said that it was Burrow, as if we didn't
yes.
know. But anyway,
Okay.
but go
So
ahead.
so yeah. So yeah, having okay, so it's like Caleb for Hunt, and you got Burrow, who I'm pretty confident in. I mean, obviously, if we knew he'd be healthy all year, then he's smash.
Right.
I think it's pretty safe. I mean, I don't want to say that. I think I'm on the side of Burrow staying healthy and lighting it up for all these last few weeks, having some
Mhm.
fun, shooting off some fireworks,
Yeah.
giving us a good show to watch, and making fantasy managers who were patient, ever so
Yes.
patient, finally happy with him that he's returned and doing Joe Burrow things again.
Yeah. Um, yeah. I would agree. If I have Burrow sitting there, yeah, then I'm trading Caleb to get reinforcements. I'm making that happen. I will just say it reminds me of my sister-in-law. She's doing fantasy football for the second year. Started off the year 0-6. She's got Joe Burrow. She is about to win her last 6 games. So she's right in the thick of it, and she's got Joe Burrow coming back. And
Well done.
I said, let it ride. So there you go. But yeah, what we got here? Brian did come back in and said Addison is cooked. Legit thinking about DK over him at flex. I don't know if I think Addison's cooked based on the environment in which he lives, but I can see Ben's already stewing. So this is a
Bringing out
perfect.
all the Vikings questions today.
That's it,
They knew I
man.
was going to be here.
Perfect. Yeah. All right.
All right.
So
I'll
what
go.
do you say
I'm
here?
willing to take this on.
Yeah.
Addison, absolutely. You cannot start him again until we see something from
Mm,
either McCarthy or Brosmer. It's just no. Yeah, he's got that touchdown upside, but you're asking for a lot after he just went 0 yesterday. No, yeah, Addison. I would start DK over Addison.
yeah. I think I would too, but this is why I like to have Addison in like DFS and stuff. DFS and best ball. So I
hmm
don't have to worry about when it's gonna happen. It's just gonna happen at some point.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Um, what we got here? Oh no, that's the other one. Oh, here it is. The AJ 124 says, should I trade Benson, obviously trade Benson, for Omarion Hampton? Yeah, I would do that.
Yeah, unless we heard something that says Hampton has actually had a huge setback and never coming back this year. But absolutely, I
Mm,
would trade Benson for Hampton.
Which, which now I'll just check to not look like a
All
moron,
right.
but I have not heard anything to that nature.
No, I
Yeah,
haven't either. Yes.
no, nothing there. Yeah, I would do that trade twice. Um, well, from your team to my team, who by the way plays on Monday night,
Hmm.
Shane does say he asks, is Ayuk still worth a roster spot? Was going to drop him for Damian Pierce, who by the way, Damian Pierce was picked up. Um, I don't think Ayuk is worth a roster spot if you're in any kind of redraft. Now, if you're in a dynasty or I wouldn't even say keeper because I mean, depending on who you're keeping, you're probably not keeping Ayuk. But I mean, if you're in a dynasty, sure. But if you're in a redraft league, no, because from what Jay Glazer had said yesterday or today, whatever it was talked about today, it was kind of like the Niners are approaching this as if they have done a good job with the media to kind of put the ball in Ayuk's court. And if Ayuk wants to play this year, he can. But if he doesn't want to, that's on him. So, and to me, based on what we saw last week, what indicator do you have that Brandon Ayuk's going to play? I see no indicator. Because also, the big thing here, and then Ben, if you have a comment, you can, but I mean, if they're already getting rid of his guaranteed money for next year, what is the incentive for Brandon Ayuk to go out there and play on that knee? God forbid something else happens. God forbid something happens to the actual knee in question. I mean, you're talking about shades of Earl Thomas when he's getting carted off the field in Arizona,
Yeah.
flipping the bird to the Seahawks sideline. So I don't see Ayuk playing. I would not roster him. I had him in my home league for a long time. I dropped him last week, ironically, before all this news broke. Um, Ben, what would you kind of do here with Brandon Ayuk? Is he worth it or no?
I don't think he's worth hanging on to at all. No. Pretty much all the you hit on pretty much all the points, and even some that I was not fully aware of. I mean, obviously you got the better ear. You follow the team very, very closely. I just look at it like the biggest hit for me was last week in our family league. My brother, huge IU fan, had
Mm,
him all season. Finally cut him, even though we've got two IR spots. He cut him, made room, and moved on.
yeah. I don't think you could do it in good faith. I honestly. Um, we
Pierce
got
got picked up by the Chiefs, wasn't it? No, who picked?
no, I think it was. I think it was the Chiefs. Let's actually get that for the listeners. Good call there. I believe I'm more than positive that it was the Chiefs. So, um, yes, it was the Chiefs. The
Yes,
Chiefs
it
did
was.
pick him up. I know.
Yay
Pete
for my
was saying,
dynasty shares.
huh. I mean,
Fingers
are you
crossed.
really expecting anything? Well, let's do this. Are you really expecting anything from Damian Pierce?
No,
No.
I love him as an athlete. I loved him before he got drafted. I loved him in his rookie year. You know, one of my leagues, my dynasty leagues, I drafted him with the 11th overall pick, traded him after the season, got and moved up in the first round, and then this year I got him as a throw in, basically for a third round pick. And I'm like, someday maybe he'll come back.
Yeah. All right. Well, here's hoping. Ayuk got dropped in my 14 teamer. Yeah. I mean, he should be getting dropped everywhere. If
Yep.
you're in any kind of redraft, to me, there's no incentive to holding on to him. I just, and that's coming from a diehard 49er fan.
Mhm.
But maybe I'm also bitter. How old are you, Mike? I am 41 years old. I will be 42 next month. So there you go. Yeah. So,
Really, I'm the old man in the room.
oh, okay. And Pete's going to be 14.
Yep.
Eventually. Yeah.
Yep. And then next
So,
year he'll finally get to start training for his driver's permit.
right, right. Puberty hit. That's why he's very emotional. That's why he's hitting us up in the comments.
Yep.
Um, I'll just keep talking shit until he comes in here and defends himself. But he's not. He's probably playing Halo for the first time ever because he's that young. Um, Brian did say Brosmer is the next Skylar Thompson. Ben, your thoughts? as you take another drink.
Oh, that's
Is that
gross.
painful?
But yeah, I don't know. I think he's got a better future than Skylar Thompson did. Um, like I said, like we mentioned, like I loved watching him play for Minnesota last year in college, and he came in with for a team that is like based solely on the run, and he
Sure.
had an amazing season throwing for tons of yards and touchdowns and just opened it up. And Govers had a great year. Yeah, no, I think he's better than Tom. I mean, he's a guy that I would, in a bigger, deeper, the dynasty kind of setting, I'd consider maybe throwing him on there if I got space,
How
just as a
much do you
placeholder.
think? How much do you think Kevin O'Connell, the QB a QB whisperer? I'll call him. I'll put him in that category with guys like Shanahan. I mean, Sean McVay. I'll call him a QB whisperer, but he's really not whispering to Stafford. He kind of knows what the hell he's doing. But
Hmm.
I feel like if there was a young quarterback there, it would happen. Um, how much do you think Kevin O'Connell's pulling his hair out right now?
Well, he does wear a ball cap a lot,
Well,
so there's
that could be
that.
why.
Uh-huh. He might just have one huge bald spot right up on the top.
And who could blame him?
Yeah.
Gerardo Jimenez Alvarez says, "Hey, Mike, from one 49ers faithful to another, I need your wisdom. Monday Night Football, fantasy football is on the line. I need 19 points, and I've got one flex spot. I can roll with Kittle, Pearsall, or I can grab JJ. Who would you throw in there, brother?" Well, you need 19 points. Now, I don't know if this is PPR or not. I'm going Kittle. Um, because the Vikings are actually allowing a good amount of yards to the tight end position. Did I say? But anyway, the Panthers. Sorry, the
Panthers.
Panthers. We're talking so much Vikings. The
Yep.
Panthers are allowing a lot of passing yards on a per game basis to tight ends. So I like that for Kittle. I think Kittle gets into the end zone. So I probably go Kittle here. I mean, Pearsall here is a little too unstable is the way I would classify it because we really don't know what he's going to do. And I feel like Pearsall would need a touchdown for sure to get 19 points. Um, yeah, I would lean Kittle here, especially Brock Purdy being back. Loves himself some George Kittle. We saw what happened in Arizona last weekend. But Ben, I'll throw you in here anyway, even though I'm the Niner guy he asked me. I'll ask you. Kittle, Pearsall, or JJ, which is Juwan Jennings. He needs 19 points. Is there one guy you lean towards?
Yeah, I'm leaning towards Kittle too. It's George Kittle. He's got the ability to turn any play into a big one. He's got the trust from his quarterback because Purdy loves throwing the ball to Kittle. We've seen that.
Yeah, he
And
does.
then and the other fact is like, yeah, you got the wide receivers, but if the game gets out of hand, do you even try and throw it downfield? You just keep doing dump offs, maybe short, 5, 6, 7, 8 yard passes, and then that's Kittle's. He's right there. So yeah, I'm Kittle too.
Yeah, I mean, I think 19 points is going to be a bit of a reach, regardless of which guy you take. But I would say Kittle gives you the best opportunity to meet that. Pete did say one kind thing. He said, like the show.
Oh,
So, yeah, like the show.
thanks,
Helps
Pete.
us out immensely. So, not a lot of work from you. Helps us out so much. Um, he did come in and say, Zach, the answer is too old in terms of how old I am. You don't want to know. Well, I already told him, so screw you. Bob Hope. Is this the Bob Hope? Bob Hope at 123. This would be marvelous.
He's
Keep,
back.
yeah, he's back. Yeah, yeah. Keep Cleveland or Ravens defense thanks. So Cleveland is going up against the 49ers next week. Excuse me while I cough. The Ravens that's Thursday night football, Thanksgiving Thursday night football. The Ravens will be home against the Bengals. Listen, call me a home. I'm actually don't call me a homer because I'm saying the Browns. Um, I am concerned immensely about Myles Garrett and the amount of sacks that he is compiling. And I don't, and me, Pete, and Kronster in a chat today talked about this. I mean, I'm with Pete where I feel like they're going to move Myles Garrett around. They don't just have to keep him on Trent Williams. I know that's the matchup we all want to see, but I mean, you can move Myles Garrett around. So Um, I would go with the Browns, honestly, over the Ravens. Um, but what says you?
Yeah, yeah, Miles Garrett is such a monster. Um, Gosh, yeah, I think it's Cleveland. Yeah, really, I think it's just Cleveland because we've seen all year they're stopping people, they're getting the sacks, they're making it hard for the offense in pretty much every capacity. If their defense wasn't so good, would they be winless at this point? That I really feel like that's a valid question. Even like just if you took away Miles Garrett, would they be like 1-10 or whatever, 1-9 right now? Like,
Yeah, it's true. Let me see this here. Um, Pete is bringing this up, and I kind of wanted to just actually, there was this I wanted to talk to you about. Um, you know, Pete over here is saying, Ravens Lamar Jackson is dealing with toe injury. His injury log this season now looks like this: weeks 4 through 9, hamstring; week 11, knee; week 12, ankle; week 13, toe. So I did want to bring this up to you, Ben. Um, we're looking at, if you look at these last 2 weeks from Lamar Jackson, I mean, all right, so here we go. First 4 weeks of the year: 29.4, 26.3, 27, 10.7. Then the injury happens. We don't see him for a few weeks. Comes back 25.6. The Lamar Jackson we've come to all know and love. After that, 16.6, 4.7, and 7.2. I mean, we're headed to the fantasy football playoffs here. What are you doing with Lamar Jackson? I mean, you got to put him out there, right? But like, what are we doing?
yeah, that's a good question. It's yeah, like you said, it's been so up and down, and so like these last couple of weeks were just blah. You got Cincy coming up. Ugh, I think, yeah, gosh, you can't really, no, you can't really not you start him. It's just he's Lamar, and the matchups are positive. At least the next one is.
Yeah, that
And they even get Cincinnati like again like 2 weeks after that. You said, yeah. So,
his
yeah,
next 4 matchups look good. And then there comes week 17. I ignore week 18 because, again, if you're playing fantasy football and if week 18 just, it's worse than doing standard leagues. Just stop doing it. But I mean, he's got Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, at Cincinnati, then New England, and then at Green Bay. And at Green Bay is a tough matchup. That's week 17.
yeah,
That's your fantasy football championship, and you're dealing with the injuries. I mean, you've come this far. I guess you got to put him out there, but
definitely
I
got
don't
him.
like
But
it.
definitely, no, I don't like it either. I don't. But at the same time, I mean, at least up through that second Bengals game, um, maybe start looking at the schedule going ahead, see if there's another
Sure.
guy on your waiver wire who's
Yep.
sitting there and has a nice schedule. Um, just just trying to
That
think of somebody off the top of my head, and I can't. So go ahead, go ahead.
that no, no, no. I was going to say that's literally what I was about to say. It's a good point. I
Oh,
would start to look at quarterbacks that are available, and maybe if you could scoop one up. I mean, ironically enough, the one of the best matchups from week 13 to 17 is your Minnesota Vikings. But
yeah,
I don't know if you want to roll that dice, but um, I mean, the Dolphins outside of week 13, they look good. Josh Allen, he's not available. Um, what we got here? The Browns, Jets, Packers. Daniel Jones, you're not getting Daniel Jones from anybody. He's already rostered.
yeah,
Yeah, you're
yeah.
kind of, yeah, you're doing that. I'll say this: you're doing it on a not week 13 to 17. You're doing it on a per week basis in terms of streaming, if you want to. That's
I
kind of
mean,
where I would.
just a guy that I was looking through schedules, a guy you could maybe take a shot on for those last. If Bryce Young, the last
Sure,
3 weeks of the fantasy of the year, he's at New Orleans, plays against Tampa, and then plays against Seattle, which isn't great, but at the same time, you know that those first two, like that week against Tampa, it looks promising.
sure, yeah, yeah. I mean, Tampa, Seattle there to close it out. It's not terrible. Yeah, I don't hate that. Just yeah, you just got to deal with that week 14 bye. That's it. But
Yep.
yeah, all right, something to look at if you're a someone rostering Lamar Jackson. But Pete did also come in here and said From Guy on Twitter, whoever that guy is, Rossini already soft launched the idea that the Vikings might already move off of McCarthy in the offseason and that the divorce seems inevitable to happen. Now, Ben, as you sit there and shake your head, I will preface this by saying if Diana Rossini tells me that the sky is blue, I am saying it's not blue under any
No,
circumstances.
I am absolutely 100% in the boat with you on this one when it
Yeah,
comes to Diana Rossini. We
yes.
listened to all that Aaron Rodgers BS earlier this year, leading up to the season. Oh, he's basically signed with the team. He's going to come in and start. She didn't know jack squat. No, she didn't know jack shit. She
Bingo.
was just she heard one thing. It's like when you go to a person who's like anti-vax and there's like 100 papers that say they don't cause autism, and there's one that she's the one that grabs the one that says it causes autism and runs with it.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing that like you said, if she told me the sky was blue, I'd say it's green with yellow spots. That's what I would say.
so, so,
Wow, I can't stand her. I'm sorry, I'm ranting again.
I love it. Love it. No, this is what we need. All right. So basically, you're not buying into that. You're not.
Not in any way, shape, or form if it came out of her mouth or off of her Twitter feed. Nope, not happening.
God, that's fantastic. Tron Force said, I have a QB problem. I had lost Jaden Daniels. Now he's likely to return in week 14. Right. He's supposed to practice this week, likely to not play. He also traded for Dart and picked up Bo Nix off of waivers and used Trevor this week. Who shall I keep? Okay, who should you keep? I'll say golly. See, because I'm at the point here. I mean, the answer would be if you want to just negate everything, if you just want to go on name value, the answer is Jaden Daniels. But Jaden Daniels has been injured multiple times this year. I don't know how he's getting ready to come back in week 14 with that arm injury. That looked like some X-Men kind of stuff there.
Yeah.
To not have a broken bone, to not have any torn ligaments. So I would love to say Jaden Daniels, but I don't know if you can trust him to stay healthy. All right.
It's gross, and I'm
I'm
kind of in
going
the
the road
same
less
similar
traveled.
boat.
I'm going the road less traveled. If you can survive the week 14 bye, I go Jackson Dart.
Yeah, I think Dart would actually be the guy I would look to as well. I would also, I would probably now we haven't seen a lot of Trevor Lawrence success this year, but the upcoming schedule is at Tennessee, Indy, and then against the Jets over weeks 13, 14, 15. So just
Sure.
hanging on to him as a in case Dart gets hurt again, in case Daniels gets hurt again.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
where I would be leaning toward.
All right. Iggy coming back in here saying on waivers, there's Mills, Stroud, Shaw, Taylor, T-Law, Kirk, Mariota, Cam Gino. I don't know. Okay. I must have
That's
missed
right.
a
He had a question earlier that about I can't remember which quarterback he was hanging on to.
Let me see where he's at. Iggy,
It
Iggy,
was a
Iggy,
while
Iggy,
ago.
Iggy. It was a while ago. Let me scroll up here. Oh, Iggy said, should I stream QB this week? I've
Yes,
got Caleb Williams versus the Eagles. If so, for who? And then, so are you playing Caleb Williams or are you going with Mills, Stroud, who doesn't sound like he's cleared concussion protocol yet? Shaw, Taylor, T-Law, Kirk, Mariota, Cam, or Gino? Who, by the way, Cam Ward finally had a fantasy relevant week.
He did. Yeah, he actually did. He looked pretty good. I think he was last time I looked when I was writing last night. He was like still top 3 or 4 before Sunday night. So
I mean, you can answer this, but I think I'm going Caleb Williams. I mean, I get it. The matchup's not the greatest. What do we have here? The Eagles. Yeah. They haven't allowed a 20-point game to a quarterback since week 6, and that's only one of 2. But I mean, I would start my mother in fantasy football before I'd start Geno Smith. I'm not taking Cam Ward based off of 1 week. Mariota might be intriguing actually. If the Commanders, I'm sorry, going up against the Broncos Sunday Night Football, that game will be in Washington.
yeah,
I don't know if
no,
I
I
love
mean,
that either. The matchup
no,
wise, I don't love that either. I
Yeah.
I think I'm rolling with Caleb for better for worse.
Oh, I'm looking at it and like, yeah, I'm not. It's not Gino. It's not Chuck. It's not Mariota. It's not Cam Ward. I don't want to do Tyrod. I wouldn't put him in over Caleb. I don't think I'd do Lawrence over Caleb. Then it's like Mills, Stroud, or Kirk. You know what? I'm gonna go with Kirk. Actually, it's not. I mean, yeah, He's had 2 starts this year. Not either were great, but at least his last one, he completed 69.6% of his passes, threw for 190 yards and 2 scores, and in his last 7 games against AFC East opponents who are not based out of Buffalo,
Hey
he's
now,
thrown multiple touchdowns in 4 of those 7 games. So just
that's a
throwing that
good
out there.
that's a good pull. Well, as long as you're excited about your good pull, I'll bring up this next thing to just piss you off more. JJ McCarthy,
Yeah.
concussion, aka soft benching.
I, my
This
rabbit.
is
I wish that she would talk to me right now and give me some positive information, but she's a rabbit.
this
She
is
can't.
fun. It's it.
Yeah.
Black Rain 7920 said JSN crushing it for me, and he'll be my wide receiver 1 next year. Yeah, I've said it multiple times on social media, and it's not just for effect. I do not have enough shares of JSN. I am kicking myself. So, um, not that I didn't believe in him, I just didn't wind up with enough shares. But yeah, you do have him in some best ball, but yeah.
Yeah. And for a guy who's on his hype train before the season started, I didn't think the situation where with him right now would be where it is. I was thinking, easy top 10 wide receiver fantasy wise, maybe top 5, but he's like, number one or 2 right now, somewhere around. I mean, just yeah, absolutely. I love my JSN shares this year. Love all of them.
Zach saying right behind you, Mike. I'm going to be 41 in May. Happy birthday! When? What date is your birthday? I have some May birthdays in there. And Greg coming in here. Mike had a tough paper round. If he's 41, I assume that means paper route. Um, I assume.
I
To
was
which I
assuming.
didn't have a paper route. My sister did, but I didn't. So there's that. Pete coming in here said, Greg, man, I was just thinking about you the other day. Feel like I haven't seen you, buddy. How are you? Shut up, Pete.
Uh,
He's going to go with Kittle. So let's all pray Kittle gets at least 19 points tonight.
yeah.
Pete said, I am crushing a chicken parm with angel hair, drinking a broken heel. So I can't. That's fair. I wouldn't come in either.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that
Yep.
sounds pretty delicious.
Yep. You're good, brother. Um, Can Brosmer feed my guy Addison, please?
I mean, he probably could, but I don't know if we're going to find out or not. And I still wouldn't. I wouldn't rely on Addison even if we had Brosmer playing.
This is our resident troll ATL who's coming in here with a very random at handle thing. Wants to know what wings I'm getting tonight. He's trying to tease me into going to the local bar for the first half of the 49ers game. What flavor of wings would I get? I don't know. You might have to take an Uber to find out.
Parmesan garlic.
He's going to text me in 3 seconds now. Brian said, I'll start Addison against the Commanders. Probably. Okay. All right. Well, that's a different week, though. It's not this
Yeah.
week.
I mean,
Your
again,
Vikings are going up against Seattle.
yeah, no, this week, yeah, Seattle. So it's definitely a no. Yeah, we do get Washington in a few weeks. So we'll revisit it. But right now, if I had to say, I still wouldn't be starting him.
Okay. Brian's guessing lemon pepper for me. Nah, man. They have a Texas teriyaki that is fantastic.
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
It is wonderful, especially get some ranch involved in there. Yep, that's where it's at.
I'm more of a
Brian did
jerk guy
say,
myself, but
what's that?
more of
You're
a
what?
jerk chicken guy myself.
Okay. I don't hate that call either. Brian says, folks, up by 36. What percent chance would you give me to win if my opponent has Purdy and Tet and PPR? Listen, the Niners have been, I mentioned it earlier, allowing Brissett to complete 47 passes. We've seen the target share that Tet McMillan gets. I have to assume he gets in the end zone tonight. I don't love your odds.
Mm-mm.
I don't. I wish I could say something positive, but
Yeah, no, and I think you even have a little bit of a rooting interest against that because you said in your parlay you had McMillan scoring a touchdown. I think you said
Well, no, I
something for
just I
Purdy
just
too.
have I just have McMillan getting 50 receiving yards, which I
Oh,
think
sure.
is, and I
Oh,
got
yeah.
Bryce Young getting 180 passing yards, and what the hell was it? Lenore 2 tackles, over 58.5 on the Kittle yards. The big one for was the CMC 2 touchdowns.
That's the one. Yep, that's the one.
That's the one. So
I have Purdy
um
for less than 9.5 rushing yards, if that's anything.
less than 9.5, which I don't hate because the Panthers aren't allowing a lot of rushing yards, and I don't know how much they're going to want him to run.
Yeah. Plus, I
So
figure there might be a kneel down or two at the end of the game that might just bring it back a little bit more.
So not just a hat rack, my friend. Brian says Burrow over Caleb this week. Now, Pete did say he's going Burrow. I would say Burrow as well. If Burrow's going, there's not many people I'm starting over him.
Yeah. If Burrow plays, you start Burrow.
Yeah. So there you go. Let me see. Pete and Greg are talking back and forth, saying that they hope that they're well. Uh, hope you look like Patrick Ricard from the. I look like him. Do I look like him? Let me see this. Let's see this. Let's see what this looks like.
Yeah, I'm curious now too.
Okay,
I
let's
don't
let's
usually
do
see
it.
these guys without helmets on, so I don't know.
Mm. Yeah, I started typing it in wrong, so I was getting a Romanian basketball player, so that didn't work. I don't know if that's me, man. I don't know. Definitely not that jacked, to tell you that right now. Yep. So there you go. All right, good talk. All right, we got a couple more minutes here, and then we'll get out of here. Um, Jay Poole came in here and said, I've been riding with Lamar all year except the weeks he was out, of course. Burrow is on waivers, and I'm going after him this week. Gonna drop Sean Tucker, which is fine because we're expecting Bucky Irving to be back to get Burrow and
Yep.
then play the matchups. Yep. Love that for you, Jay Poole. I would do that up. Greg saying we all on the 49ers side. You goddamn fucking right we are, Greg.
Yep.
That's it. Jay Poole, happy Thanksgiving. Yes, draw some hand turkeys. Have a good time. And what else we got here? Pete says, can't wait to be in a good coma and not leave the couch Thanksgiving. Tough show for Ben. I know his
Yeah.
pain. This is how I feel about the Knicks hate. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep. You do. You get it. Just, I mean, it's a different level of Knicks hate than it is, the
sure.
McCarthy hate, which is, it's almost every year. It's the Vikings quarterback, and we hate him as soon as he doesn't throw for 303. And then we're like, bring in the backup. I'm like,
What else we got here? Well, we got Zach cursing out Pete because he's hungry. Jay Poole says he's down by 70 with CMC. I know CMC walked in with a 3-piece soup. I don't see him getting 70 points. I'm down 70 points to my wife, and I built her roster, left my ass off. I've got CMC, Kittle, and Tet going tonight. Oh, so he's got all those.
oh,
I still don't think you hit there, and I would tell
oh,
you, happy wife, happy life from somebody who's now divorced. You might not want to win that game, man.
no,
Just
I
saying.
think, no, yeah, you're better off letting her get the W. And, yeah, I don't think there's any way that you get that many points from all three of those guys.
I don't think so either, but yeah.
Yeah,
Crazier things have happened. But I
true.
think this is a perfect way to end this.
Oh, why?
Pete says as he takes a sip.
Yeah, yeah,
By the way,
yeah.
you got the alcohol. I don't. So
I
you know.
know and I'm almost out for this
Yeah.
one. So
Well, we've talked enough about the Vikings quarterback situation where I
hey,
would
I've,
imagine it would be out.
I've nursed this long enough.
I
Kirk
was
Cousins doing it. I will honestly say I do not hate that idea.
mm,
The finances of it make it absolutely impossible. But I loved Kirk Cousins here. I was a proponent of him before he came to the Vikings. The whole time he was with the Vikings,
sure.
I was, and right up to the day where he said, "It's not about the money; it's what it represents." And immediately that moment, I knew, like, you son of a bitch, you've already agreed with somebody. And then he goes to Atlanta, right, and then swiftly gets benched after performing poorly. Um, I I love what he did with us. With his whole career is just a fun thing to talk about. He gets drafted behind Robert Griffin,
Yeah.
and you know circumstances happen, he gets a shot. He throws some touchdowns. He wins some games. You like me now? You like that? And then comes in to Minnesota and has some magical work over here, and I'm very thankful for it all. And I would be fine having him back to help mentor, whoever else the quarterbacks with him on roster.
All right. There you go. Jay Poole says, my wife said you all are her favorite. Laugh my ass off. Well, listen, I will tell your wife that there are not many women that say that I'm their favorite. So,
And I will not tell my wife that I am your wife's favorite.
well, whatever, it's fine. But no one likes me, so I appreciate that. It's very nice of you, Jay Poole. So, we got here. Pete says, I love Kirk, man. Fucking great dude. I want him to go on a Flacco tour. I agree with that. I agree with that. Zach says, Huff, you are making LOL in the middle of a packed gym. What am I doing? What does that mean?
Making somebody laugh in the middle of a packed gym. Oh, you must be making him laugh, and he's in the middle of the gym working out.
Middle of the gym. Got it. We pieced it together.
All right.
Okay.
So everybody's staring at him like, dude, what the hell is this guy doing? I want to get on that machine next.
Mike is single. Yeah, Mike's single. Mike doesn't want that smoke. I'm just trying to survive fantasy football season, man. I don't want that shit right now. Yeah, so there you go. Pete is asking Zach what he's lifting. You know what? Okay. Who's your offensive rookie of the year? Is it Dart, even with him missing games? To me, it's all about how Dart finishes out the rest of the year. If it's not Dart, it's probably Tet McMillan. And that just made Pete get a half chub.
Yes, I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I think if Dart can finish up the year looking like solid to good or better, I think he's got it in the bag, because it's just one of those awards that 99 times out of 99 and a half times it'll go to a quarterback. So, but that said, I mean, then who would go? Probably go to Tet next, since we haven't really seen any of the running backs, the rookies, stay healthy or be, consistently great.
Okay. And Raymond's coming in here. He did mention, which Baker Mayfield. What's your level of concern here? He just said Baker, so maybe he is a baker. Maybe he means Baker Mayfield. Let's pretend he means Baker Mayfield.
Love me some good sourdough.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Sourdough Sam, 49ers mascot. What is your level of concern here? Baker Mayfield looks like an AC joint action going on here. They didn't even rule him out for this week. They said he might be able to play. They're waiting for more testing, but if he's good to go, you put him out there.
I mean, if the team wants to put him out there, if they're confident in his ability, I think I would be just as confident, and I would still put him out there.
Going up against the Cardinals, I don't hate that idea.
Yeah.
Let's go through a couple more of these. Amazon Pancakes is asking favorite defense rest of the season, and Pete's already answering, so that's good. And Gold Digger says, laugh my fucking ass off. And Pete says, I'm with you, Gold Digger. So I assume that that's something insulting towards me, because why else would Pete be for that? So Pete hates me. That seems like a good way to end this show. Ben, I appreciate you joining me on these Mondays. I really appreciate you joining me, considering all of the shrapnel you took in terms of the Vikings quarterback situation. But is there anything you want to say before we ride off into the sunset, or anything you want to advertise that you're doing?
Well, I'll do my Uncovered Vikings video later this week, where I just talk about the Vikings, their previous game, their, the current state, the upcoming matchup, throw in a couple of prop bets. I will say that I think I'm 0 for my last 10 on anytime touchdowns. So, but it's kind of a running gag over there. When I pick somebody for an over anytime touchdown, we know it's not happening. Other than that,
you idiot.
Yeah. Don't pick my anytime touchdown, guys. I almost put in an anytime touchdown on McCaffrey tonight, and I'm like, I better not.
Yeah, thank you.
Other than that, I just, I'm still killing it over on that Fantasy Sports Evo app. So, that's a whole lot of fun when you're picking. It's DFS, but you're picking players or teams instead of players. So,
all right. Well, good times. But yeah, so on this channel here, my kicker video will be coming out either tonight or tomorrow. I'm sure Pete's DST video will not be far behind. We'll have other content coming out. Hope to maybe do a start sit show on Thursday. Haven't discussed that with anybody at all, so I'm just announcing that on live air. So we'll see how that goes. But guys, until next time, stay thirsty, be kind to one another. We'll catch you on the flip side, and cheers.